chão, eu desimo até o chão, até o chão, até o chão, desimo até o chão, desimo até o chão, eu desimo até o chão, até o chão, até o chão. Eu desimo, 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 eu desimo.
Peace, family. Now, for the people who normally follow me, you already know like what I'm about. And you know, like that most of the stuff that I talk about, I'm actually really passionate about it. And that, you know, there's always a method to my madness. And, you know, like, and I know I bring forth like a lot of a lot of confrontational topics. And that's just because those are things that I've learned, and those are things that I've learned, and I analyze a lot. And one of the things that I've done is I've analyzed a lot of like what is going on within our Black community. I came from the conscious community, and that's what we did over there. You know, it worked a lot different over there. And I'm not saying it's better because we had some of the same issues as well. But like we were on intellectual stuff, we were on changes. So a lot of the conversations that I have over here works better in communities like that, or spiritual communities, or you know, whatever. But my purpose for saying that was to say that, like, y'all know that, like, most of the people who really, really follow me, y'all know that I'm passionate about the things that I'm saying. And there's a reason behind it. And the reason behind it is because I want to bring unity. Like, we have so many issues as a Black community. And one of the things that we never get to is a resolve. And that's like one of the biggest reasons why we're behind. So when I'm bringing up certain things, it's because I see that it has become a hindrance, and not a hindrance in a way that, you know, you have to get rid of it or whatever. A hindrance in a way where it keeps us from unifying, it keeps us from focusing on our main target, our main goal, and getting where we need to get. We're in danger right now. We have so many things going on. 2020 is the year that is going to impact us in so many different ways, and we have to be focused. And that's like why when I came over here to this channel, I started trying to focus on those things. What's going on in politics, how they're trying to take away our rights, how they're trying to take away our laws. So the last thing that like we need to be doing is to be divided. We need some, like, we need to, like, we don't always, everybody's not going to agree with everything, because everybody has their own belief systems, everybody has their own opinions, everybody has their own way of looking at things. But we got to find a way to find common grounds to focus on the things that really matter, the things that, you know, like, all impact us and all affect us, where we can all still be our own individual selves, yet, you know, like, we could, you know, be free. We could be free. So, you know the title, and I basically just want to open up with that to say that I'm over here, and there's a method to my madness when I'm talking about certain things. There's a method. When I say women empowerment, I mean it, because I've always said it. I've never stopped, even in the conscious community. It's like women are our race. Women are our nation. Women are our like everything. And when we stop respecting our women, we're also disrespecting the children. We're also disrespecting the next generations to come. So everything affects everything, especially when it comes down to women, because women are the mothers, women are the grandmothers, women are the aunts. Women are like the direct connection between that man, between that little boy, between that woman, between that girl. Women are the nurturers. Women do a lot. So the mindset or the stability of our women it's going to determine where our race go, the future of our race. So that's why I'm not anti-male, and I'm not about putting down no fight fight for men, because those are our brothers, those are our uncles, those are our cousins, those are our blood too. But I focus on women because for women have always been at the forefront of fighting, and we always put ourselves, because that's a part of like who we are. We sacrifice a lot of times our own selves and stuff like that to make sure our children are all right, to make sure other people are all right. Sometimes we'll put ourselves aside for that, and we can't no longer do that, because you know when the mother or when the woman is not protected, nor is the child, nor is the future generation. So this is my reason for doing this today is not because, yes, I do care about VS. I do. I've never said that I don't care about VS. I understand a lot when it comes down to VS, and a lot more than a lot of you. Okay. And I've analyzed a lot of the things that have gone on in this sector. And just like when the first issue first started, I said we all are at fault. We all have our parts to play in it. And if we want it to end, we're gonna all have to do our parts to end it. So this is the first session of my Healing Hearts. Now, first, before I get started, I care about VS, and guess what? And I still, VS and both Phi Baby have done good things for me. And I'm not no fair weather friend. I'm not. When somebody does something good for me, I appreciate it like I'm supposed to. That's how I was raised. And I've seen that both of those women have a great heart. Both of them have beautiful hearts. And neither one of them are bad like you people, like people want to make it seem to be. Neither one of them. Now, it's a lot of stuff in the mix or whatever, but that's because one of the things in this sector that has not been done is coming to a resolve. Either agreeing to disagree, either to agree to you go over there, I go over there, or either agreeing to be cordial. One or the other. One or the other. We're grown people, and that's what grown people do. And that's a part of solving our issues. If something is carrying over from 3 years ago, we're not solving our issues, which only makes me think what is going on within our households with our children, because these are the same type of issues that you have to deal with when it comes down to your family and your children. So we're not dealing with it properly online. This is an example, a big example of what's a greater example of what's going on in our individual families and our individual households. And this is why we're where we are today. Because we don't know how to solve things. We don't know how to come to a resolve. We don't know how to put our differences to the side and to look at the middle ground, the common ground, to get to where we need to get, where everybody is happy, where everybody is free, and where everybody can believe what they want to believe and live how they want to live, free. Because that's what we're in life, free will. God gave us all free will. And the goal of life is for everybody to be happy, not everybody to be controlled, or not everybody to be robots and to live exactly like this person or that person or that. No, because everybody wasn't made the same. We're all individuals, and we all have our own individual likes and dislikes. And just because you may not like it, don't make it wrong. And that person deserves to live their life as long as they're not affecting or hurting anyone else. And a lot of stuff is not affecting or does not hurt or affect the next person. But yet people still want to get all up into that. People, it's like Black people, we want to control each other. And that's part of the dysfunctional generational things that we have going on. It's generational. It happens in all of our families. And all of us have issues. Everybody has issues out here. Everybody. If you lie and say you don't, you're lying. If somebody says they don't have no issues, they lying. Because we spend our lives. Our life is to get over what we went through as a child. Our life is to grow and to grow and expand, to become better, to become a whole being. Okay, so let me get on point. Now it would have took me 3 days. I've been trying to do this. Really, I've been trying to do this for a long time. But lately a lot of things been bothering me, and I had a lot of things was running through my head, and I was trying to figure out how to go about doing this. And normally I try to take down notes and everything to keep myself on track. But then I realized if I keep trying to do that, because I'll never get it done. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to accept being all over the place, and just do it to get it done. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this. First of all, let me tell you, I have post-traumatic stress disorder, and let me educate you people. Post-traumatic stress disorder does not only relate to people who were in the military. I've never been in the military, and I am diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder from something that happened in my childhood, which I've already told y'all about. And it's real. It is real. Now, with post-traumatic stress disorder comes triggers. Like, for instance, like a lot of times when women have been through sexual crimes or whatever, it could be just like the same cologne that the aggressor had on that could trigger them. It could be something so little that could trigger them and trigger you. And a lot of times it's like when you're triggered, you don't you're on a spiral and you don't know. It take you a minute to get back to where you were. So really, I went through therapy, and I also, I facilitate groups. I deal with people who have post-traumatic stress disorder. I deal with people with all kinds of mental diagnoses, so I've been trained. And see, one of the things that you have to learn is you have to learn your triggers. And sometimes you're triggered without you even knowing or without you even having control. That's why, sometimes you got to catch yourself in the middle of the spiral. Okay. Now, when you learn your triggers, sort of where to go and where to stay. But then you can't always control your environment. You can't always control things. And sometimes things just go ahead and do happen because you can't control people. Okay. So when these things happen, I used to it was a time when I was reactionary. I was on it. It was like bam, boom. It was over. It was 0 to 360, just like that. Until I learned what was going on. First of all, I got a diagnosis. I learned to understand my diagnosis, because you have to be educated and you have to know what your diagnosis consists of in order to know how to control it, to self-control, to cope with it. And then I learned, my triggers and a lot of different things. And that's the only way that I'm able to maintain. But at any rate, if I don't watch myself, if I don't pay attention, if I don't sometimes back away from stuff, then I can easily be triggered. And this sector of YouTube is a big trigger. It's a big everybody's around here triggering everybody. And like when I spoke out about post-traumatic stress disorder, that was dealing with Wiley. And y'all, and so many people was like, you just want sympathy. You just want attention. This. No. When I did it, I wasn't just trying to help myself. I was trying to help other people. And I was trying to help people see that, a lot of people around here are dealing with different things. A lot of people are dealing with different diagnoses, whether it be depression, whether it be anxiety, whether it be everything, because anxiety is common. That's what we call bad nerves in the Black community. But that's also the proper terminology for it is anxiety. But we say bad nerves. Oh, girl, my nerves bad. Oh, girl, I can't deal with that because my nerves bad. A lot of us have that. And, sometimes that kind of stuff can cause you to overreact, react, or whatever. And a lot of people around here are not getting treatment, are not, because it's taboo within the Black community. How I know? Because I work in mental health. I'm a part of a program by B.B. Campbell Moore that we go around to Black churches for a long time. Like in Black churches, like cast the demon out. Like, like when Black people had issues or whatever, you take them to the pastor and the pastor's supposed to talk to them and cast them demons out. But then now it's to the point where even the pastors know that they can't help people and that these people need professional help. So we go around to Black churches, we educate the pastors, and then we also give them resources within their community so that they know that when these situations arrive again, they know where to refer these people, where to refer their members, where their congregational members to get the appropriate help. So let me get to it. Now, we the Black community. Now, I've heard so many times where, people are speaking about the incarceration rate. Black men going to jail. Black men going to prison. And wanting to free Black men. No problem. If they didn't do anything to harm, especially somebody within our own family, our own race, that's fine. But if they did, they might deserve to be there. But if they didn't, yes, they need to be liberated and freed. Okay. And then a lot of, even with the prison system, and I also work with a program like with police officers to help them to be able to recognize when people have mental illnesses, because there's been a lot of people with mental illnesses who have been killed by cops because cops did not recognize the fact that these people had mental illnesses and did not properly know how to de-escalate the situation. Because a person that's going through something, they don't see that person as a cop. They see that person as a threat, or they see that person as whomever. So a lot of times, like a cop has to learn how to recognize that, and they have to know how to de-escalate the situation. It's like with certain people, if you talk loud to them, they're going to go on defense. Like if you talk calm, a lot of times they'll calm down. So it's methods and techniques to certain things. Now, in this sector, we have a lot of people that have issues, and, like we running around and we giving each other issues. It's bad. It's bad. Like I unplugged. People think, even VS thinks that I listen to her live streams, but I stopped listening to her live streams a long time ago. Every now and then, if somebody tells me something was said or whatever, I might go over and listen. And there's been a couple of times when I've tried to listen, and then I'll end up tuning out because I'll be protecting my energy, and I don't want to hear the negativity. I don't need that negativity. So I push away from it. And it's not because, this or that. I have to protect my energy. I have to not be triggered. I have to not allow myself to be triggered. So a lot of times, a lot of stuff that goes on over there, somebody else tells me. I don't automatically know. That's why I go to Lipstick Alley, because Lipstick Alley is like a TV guide. Not that I trust what they're saying or nothing like that. It just gives me an idea of what has gone on and where I might want to go look within this sector without having to go look at everybody's videos and having to listen to all the negativity. Because when you're around a lot of negativity, that negativity eventually is going to affect you, whether you're involved in it or not, just by hearing it. And that negativity brings on stress, which brings on illness, whether it be mental or physical. Now, if y'all can accept Wiley over there shaking pills and stuff like that, saying that he has a mental illness, then y'all need to like not have a double standard. And when you know that other people have issues too, y'all need to use the same energy as y'all be saying. The same energy. The same energy, but it don't work like that. I got up and I wasn't even triggered. I was sharing to help everybody else. I shared my story to help everybody else and to help Wiley see that, okay, keep on. You're not the only one that got some issues. You're not the only one that, keep on. Because, like when you over there when you're messing with people, when you're fooling with people, you don't know what people have been through in their life, and you don't know how they will react. We just saw a couple of months ago, a fellow YouTuber commit suicide. And y'all, if y'all please contact the 211. If y'all please contact 911 if you ever have thoughts of suicide or any of anything of that nature. I have to say that it's how we have to do it. But so we're causing each other issues. And then whereas y'all are running around acting like you're trying to solve something, you're not. We're making it worse. Can't you see it's getting worse? Can't you see that a lot of this stuff spans from 2-3 years ago? All right, let me start here. Why can't we all just get along? Now, whereas it used to be just one woman, now it's two. Because one of the things that I couldn't listen to like a lot of these live streams here lately. Because I even saw a few people like, where's QI? Because I couldn't listen to it. I can't. I don't know if it's because of the mental health training or what, but it's some stuff when I know that it's a detriment, I just can't do it. I can't just ride with it. I have to say something or I have to pull all the way back. And when I pull back, a lot of times I feel bad and I feel guilty because I have a heart and a conscience. All right. So I've seen people say and heard people say, oh, Phi Babe is VS now, Phi Babe next. So this ain't just dealing even with just VS. People are trying to destroy VS, and then they're going to try to go, and we're seeing them try to destroy Phi Babe, and they're going to go after Phi Babe next. So this is the spiral effect. All over what? Something that could have been resolved a long time ago. They keep spiraling over and over and over to the fact that we have turned this sector into a hatred, self-hatred sector. Okay, now here we go. VS does not deserve to go to jail. VS deserves some help. Okay? Now, when I was over there with TSCC, I was helping VS. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with no relationship. VS is at the end of the day, VS is my friend. And I've always said that. Whether relationship or not. So it's not die hard, nothing about no relationship. This die hard, that's my friend. I care about her. All right. So this ain't about that. This is about the fact that I analyze and study. A lot of y'all people are new and y'all really don't even know what's going on. Y'all don't know the backstories, because if you came in over here with Sean Bradley, you only know it from Sean Bradley's perspective. If you came in over here from Phi Babe, you only know Phi Babe's perspective. And if you came in over here from TSCC, you only know TSCC's perspective. You don't know the whole perspective. And that's what we're running off of. And a lot of y'all around here, y'all are disliking people because of what you've heard. You are judging people based on what you've heard. And a lot of times where there's a cause, there's a reaction. And that's what's been happening. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Phi Babe VS, and I'm gonna start with Larry Nelson because to my knowledge, that's what came first. All right, so Tanaya, Larry Nelson's daughter. Larry Nelson and Tanaya, they had been dealing with each other behind the scenes. Okay, all Tanaya wanted was an apology. All right. Like, regardless of whatever happened, at the end of the day, I'm gonna skip some facts. Let's not look at guilty, unguilty. Let's just look at daughter-father relationship. So Tanaya just wanted an apology from her father. All right. So Larry Nelson being the father, regardless if he was right, wrong, guilty, or not, that's his daughter. And what is a father's job? It don't matter what my sister, my niece, or whatever is going through. If they got a problem with me, I am about to get to the root of it, and I'm going to do whatever I can to resolve that issue, because that's love. And at the end of the day, he's the daddy. He's the father. So he's supposed to do whatever it takes to get to his daughter. And the last thing that he was supposed to be doing is allowing people and assisting people in bashing his daughter online, because that creates psychological issues. So that's what I saw. And then at the end of the day, I've always advocated against sexual abuse. In the Black conscious community, Tariq Noel, Tariq Noel. I was with Son Campbell before he clowned and ended up making it a monkey. I've always spoke out against it. I've always, out here in the real world, a part of my job, I do it. So I've always been an advocate against child sexual abuse because I'm a victim. And speaking is better to let it out than to keep it in. And see, that's our problem. We're keeping things in, and we're bashing victims. We're re-victimizing victims. And then we're silencing victims. And that affects them for the rest of their life. Regardless, even sometimes speaking up, it has an effect for the rest of their life. And we got to stop that, because we're hurting people. We're hurting our own selves. Okay, so pretty much that's how I looked at Larry Nelson. Okay, so Phi Babe came along and she was defending Larry Nelson. Now, I'm not going to judge Phi Babe for that, because not everybody saw it like I saw it. Not everybody could see it even, now probably like I saw it. Like, wait a minute, that's all. Because I thought about my father. And what would my father do? My father would have bent over backwards to make sure it would have never reached YouTube. It would have never reached the next person, because my father would have did whatever it took to make sure that he did what he was supposed to do as a father, and bring me comfort, and bring me understanding, and bring me guidance, and bring me healing. Because that's what a father is there for. That's what a mother, a father, that's what a parent is there for. So I'm not going to fault people because they weren't looking at it that way. But later on down the line, Phi Babe got to see that, Larry Nelson wasn't upfront and truthful about a lot of things. So she did begin to see some flaws within his character. But one thing that never came was the resolve between VS allowed, because all VS did was allow Tanaya Nelson to tell her story. And no, they didn't know, TSCC did not pay Tanaya Nelson to get up there and do that for Tanaya came to VS and asked VS. And I commend VS for that. Because there's so many times that victims are silenced. She wanted to tell her story. That was her choice. The money didn't come into play until after, and that was to help with another situation. That was because of the backlash. The money came after the backlash. But all she did was allow Tanaya Nelson to get up there and tell her story, and she tried to protect Tanaya Nelson as best as possible because they shared that experience. Just like I shared that experience, so I can relate. But when people start to see Larry Nelson for who, no resolve ever came. And then, truth be told, nobody should have been around here bashing Tanaya Nelson, calling her a stripper, talking about, oh, Tanaya at the mall making it rain. Nobody should have been doing it, and Larry Nelson shouldn't have allowed it under any circumstances, especially not to give the information to the people to do it. Because you're damaging your own child. And so that's what happened with that situation. One thing led to the next thing, until VS and Phi Babe are into it. Okay? Never never came no resolve, when it came down to that. But that situation sort of, died down and swindled out a little bit. Okay, now the biggest problem, and who everybody should fault, because VS ain't always been, like y'all want to say, a demon. She really not. But, like, she does do some horrible things. I'm going to admit, I don't agree with the things that, some of the things that I've seen her do. But I have seen when she didn't do anything and people were still bothering her. They would not let it go. She was trying to move on. She was trying to change. She was trying to grow. And people would not allow it. In fact, they formed the whole hate team. These were old TSCC members. And let's start. I'm going to tell you the two main players. On-site April. Oh, I love VS. Really, on-site? Because now is your time to come clean. If you really love VS, now is your time to come clean. Because sister, that this shouldn't be happening to VS. And you had a lot to do with not only what's happening with VS, but what's going on in this entire sector. Before y'all blame VS for the state of this sector, you need to blame On-Site April and Amazing Grace. Now, I've heard Amazing Grace then went on to a different sector. She done disappeared. But these are the founders of the hate group. Now, I'm gonna break down the rest of the hate team. And I'm going to go in the order that I think or that I saw it happen in. Because when Mona Simone did interviews, she was coming after VS. When she did interviews, they all got up there and told their story. And they all told on themselves when they were telling their story. Because I listened. I got critical listening skills. I listened. They all told on themselves. On-site April said, oh, them people over there now with TSCC, we was the one that was doing everything. Them people over there don't know how to do nothing. And she was absolutely right. Now, it's not that we don't know how to dox, because that's easy. It's just that we weren't intending on doxing. We didn't care about doxing because we weren't doxers. So VS was not doxing. Doxing was introduced to VS. Now, first of all, let me tell you this. Let me start here. VS has trust issues. So when and you know, that's a lot that had a lot to do like with where we are now. We dealt with that a lot, you know, like we dealt with that a lot. And I used to often tell her, and that's the one thing that I was trying to do was to build the trust. Because I knew it wasn't easy for her. And I've been there. And I also saw what she had gone through. Because if you had a team of people, because you like Onsite April was right there next to VS in terms of TSCC, like a good friend, and then turned on her. Let's be honest, Chopper, Q Sean, J Dunn, Nep, Amazing Grace, all over there, and they was in there just like you see TSCC now, just like you saw when I was over there. They was over there like that. Okay, so when you see people, and see VS didn't start it. A lot of times they did stuff to VS, and VS clapped back. And because her clap back was more vicious and harder, people remembered that. But they were a lot of times it was clap back and forth with each other. They was clapping each other, saying all types of inappropriate things and stuff like that to each other. It wasn't no one way, one-sided, all of them guilty. Every last one of them just as guilty as the next. But you got a group of people over there that's denying telling what they did and blaming it all on VS when they know that it's not all VS's fault. They know a lot of times that they did something beforehand to make VS do what she did to them. Because VS ain't just going, you know, like at first, I'm going to put it this way, because I saw a change in her, yes. And I know where that change came from. But beforehand, VS wasn't just the type of person that just picked somebody randomly and go after them. You had to do something to her. And a lot of times it's not like she automatically just jumps on it. A lot of times it takes her a minute or two, and then she gonna get to you. She gonna get to you. Now, is it right? To some degree, everybody has a right to defend themselves. And you can't tell a person how to fight back. But some stuff does cross the line and go over the border. It does. It comes from a roast and a gag to viciousness. But at the same time, when you put a person in self-defense mode, when you put a person in fight or flight mode, and that's what happens with PTSD. When you're triggered, you go into fight or flight mode, and then it's like you're no longer in control of yourself. It's like all you're thinking about is survival and defending yourself. And see, when people, like what I've saw is that people know how to trigger VS's buttons. They've sat and they've analyzed and they know how to push her buttons. And so a lot of people, because they wanted to see her caught up, they've been pushing her buttons. All behind the scenes, coming up with things or whatever, pushing people's buttons. Now, Onsite April, Amazing Grace, and I'm going to add Chopper. Also, it's like Wiley. It's 4 main components, Wiley. When you get close to people and they hurt you, that makes you not feel, especially when you keep getting hurt over and over, when you keep trying to allow yourself to get close to people, or you keep getting cool with people and they keep hurting you over and over again, that is you're gonna at certain points you're gonna come up with a shut off. At a certain point, it's like, because it got to a point where VS, oh, you just like the rest of them. She used to tell me that, and I hadn't done nothing. It might have been just one little thing that I said, oh, you just like the rest of them, where I hadn't done anything. And so I'm sitting like, why are you saying that? And yeah, it took me a minute to understand all of this. I'm telling you, I had to put all of the pieces to this little puzzle together in order to get to where I am now. It was a bunch of, because like, even what happened with us, I didn't understand why. It's like one night, me and VS was on the phone, and I noticed the difference in her. She thought I was asleep, but I was really paying attention. She was talking real fast, sped up, like in mental health they call it racing thoughts. And then she'll say, "Oh, you ain't sleep. You're not listening." She said, "You're not listening." I said, "Yes, I am. You sleep." I said, "No, I'm not." I was attentively listening because I was trying to see what was wrong with her because I noticed the difference. So I was trying to listen to what she was saying, but it was all over the place. And then she got mad and she said, "I'm gonna find somebody else to talk to," and she hung up. And a lot of times that happened all the time with me and VS. A lot of times I just let her go, calm down. She'll call back, and everything will be rational. This time it lasted. She did find somebody else to talk to. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I know who, and I know what happened. See, with a person with trust issues, you can't sit there and say, especially when they've been through a lot, you can't say, "Oh, this person seemed like they gonna be doing this, or this person doing, or she over there and she really doing this and she doing that and she doing." Well, a lot of people have started to do that with me, and it wasn't nothing that I was doing at all. When I was over there with VS, I was giving. I wasn't looking to receive at all. I was building. I wanted her to be the best that she could be, and I was going to be behind her to make sure she could be the best that she could be because VS has talent. Fi Babe has talent too. So I'm behind her trying to make sure that's what you call woman empowerment. That's what you call building up your next sister. That's what we're supposed to be doing for each other. Okay, so anyways, I'm trying to get back to the point. I knew I was going to be a little bit all over the place. To my knowledge, it might have started with Let's Be Honest. And like I used to hear the recordings all the time of what happened with, Let's Be Honest or whatever. And, the recordings were crazy, so like I didn't really get this. She didn't show the video of what happened to, Let's Be Honest until a long time later. We were actually like, intimate at that point. And when I saw that video, I sent her a text and I was like, "No, It was the Kevin Hart meme. I was like, "No, nope, Because what I saw Chopper going in, bashing the stink out of Let's Be Honest. And I was like, "Oh, so this what, oh, so," but at the same time, I don't know the backstory. I don't know all the ins and outs and what really happened. All I know is that wasn't right what I saw Chopper do to her. And it wasn't Chopper's business in the first place. It was between Chopper and VS. Okay? So Qshawn. Now I don't know what happened, like Qshawn is the one person that I really don't understand what, don't remember really understand what happened to her. But I know she was over there for a long time, and I think she was like the either the first or the second person. I know Qshawn and Let's Be Honest, they sort of came, they sort of like their situation started happening together. All right. But anyways, just like now, just like always, whenever something happens over there at TSCC, and let me address TSCC real quick. Yes. TSCC. A lot of y'all are just as responsible as these ops or as the haters. Yes. A lot of y'all just as responsible, because if you don't stop and you don't tell VS that it's wrong, if you don't try to slow VS down, or if you don't really care about her, and if you just riding along the way, because I've seen too many times where people somebody get kicked out and I don't be properly understanding, And people just be out, like 1 minute they friends, they cool with them, the next minute they just all just eating them up. And then ain't nobody trying to, resolve the issue within TSCC. Nobody trying to come up with a resolve. And a lot of people be just as confused. Most people just be like, oh, well. Not me. But anyway, that's what was happening. People jumped on the bandwagon. People like automatically start going in. And then people introduced doxing. Because to my knowledge, Irene JoJo, Nepatarian or whatever, was the original doxer of TSCC. And when all the hate team left, all the doxers left. On-site April said that herself. So they're doxing. They've been doxing over there at Sean Bradley and Club Chat. And not only were they not doxing, they went around from place. Okay. Mona Simone, and it was a misunderstanding that could have been resolved. On-site April now went over there to Mona Simone. Now they got Mona Simone all on a hate train when it could have been a simple thing where, okay, Mona, we were having a meeting. You came in and it was only TSCC people. Mona didn't know. So it could have been, look, Mona, we were having a TSCC meeting, but Mona went immediately back to her page and attacked. So what is that going to cause VS to do? It's going to cause her to attack. And I tried to go over there to talk to Mona and say it was a misunderstanding. But by that time, on-site April had gotten the ear. Because that's what they do. They went over there and gotten Phi Babe ear. They went over there and they're over there with Rick Reed now. They went over there with Rita. They're trying to slander her. They went around with this hate. They went on a crusade spreading hate against VS. So a lot of you people out there don't even know why you dislike VS. You just disliking VS because this person said it, this person said it, this person said it, and this person is saying it because that person said it. And therefore, they're reacting to her in that manner, all because of a misconception that happened a long time ago. All right. So, I think it was Q-Shine the Lesbianist at first. JoJo Irene was over there doxing. Okay, introducing the doxing to VS. All right. Because VS does have anger issues and she don't know how to control her anger issues. And, and she gets emotional and all she wants to do is fight back. So, like, boom, she was using it to fight back. All right. So then the thing was Jay Dunn. Now, VS likes Jay Dunn. I saw the video at the VS. I mean, not like in that manner, but VS, they homegirls. I've seen their interactions. That it was good. Now, what happened with Jay Dunn was it was some people of TSCC that did not like Jay Dunn. So they was causing issues with Jay Dunn. And they was causing Jay Dunn to get attacked. Okay, so we all know, I didn't know this at the time until like I just recently started working with Jay Dunn, that Jay Dunn snaps off too. She snaps off too. She not too much different from VS. She'll snap off too. So Jay Dunn called VS and she want to snap off on-site April because at that time, I guess, she favored Jay Dunn or whatever. She called herself defending Jay Dunn, and then she goes over to the hate team. Instead of somebody saying, hold on, what's happening here? Let me resolve the issue. Where is the problem? Let's get to the bottom of this. Who's right, who's wrong? Let's be adults about this. Nobody did that. They get mad, and then they run to the hate team, and then here we got a cycle of hate, a cycle of fighting. And then the one person that VS never did anything to, Amazing Grace, she just took it up. She was over here with TSCC and over there forming a hate team at the same time. Her whole purpose, I think, was to build her channel to take. I guess she thought she was gonna take the team. But you know, like nothing major ever happened with Amazing Grace and VS. But all of this could have been resolved. Instead, it was boom. And you know, when you bump a person, you know, like with post-traumatic stress disorder, you bump a person that go from 0 to 360, guess what's going to happen? Because I used to be like that. And I lie to you not. I used to be like that. 0 to 360, just like that. I lose my mind. I used to lose my mind. And some of y'all are like that now. Some of y'all just like that. Okay, so that's the hate team. So the hate team going around spreading all of this. Then VS formulated a friendship with Nicole. Okay, now what happened with Sean Bradley and VS? Because VS and Sean Bradley were cordial. They were cool. Until Sean Bradley started allowing call-ins. When Sean Bradley started, you know, doing the call-ins, you had the hate team calling in. VS, your dad, VS daddy did this. VS. Now imagine you sitting up, you being VS. Because I you know, lately I've been going through it. But imagine if that was you and you came out and you told your own story, and then these people take your story and they start twisting it up. And then they're up there, something intimate that you told them, and they're up there using it against you. And then they're up there, they're like, not only against you to slander your character, but then they're doing this over the phone to the whole world. So that's where the problem came in with SB. Why would you allow that on your platform? That should be a common, like that has to be a common thing. It's just like, if I don't have a problem with a content creator, then I shouldn't allow somebody to come over here and just bash that content creator, because I'm just as much responsible as they are. Hold on, I don't have a problem. The views and opinions are this person's and this person's alone. Okay, I can't allow that. I can't allow you to do that. But they over there and they on calling in, blah, 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 saying some ugly, ugly, ugly stuff. And if it had been any of y'all, y'all would have felt just like VS. I know I would. Now, it was because it was his platform. So that's where the friction came in with VS. Now, she never really, she insinuated, like they say, you know, with Chopper, you know, she just insinuated, but she never outed Chopper. She never outed Chopper. She just did some things like shake some pills, or whatever, but she never like really outed, she never outed Chopper. She did the same thing with Sean Bradley. John Gacy was about some white man that actually did that. She just called him by that name. Now I understand, you know, like I understand. But at some point, where was the resolve? If Sean Bradley had not ever allowed them to do that, then Sean Bradley and VS would not like be where they are today. So then it's time to go after the platform, because the platform they didn't have a platform before Sean Bradley. These haters did not have a platform. Sean Bradley was their first platform. And though a lot of them ex-TSCC members, the hate team, have been over there ever since. And they've been just whirling around. They've been whirling around on world tour. Every time one little thing might happen with VS, they go and they escalate it. So Nicole, she was good friends with Nicole. I mean, we was over there, we was supporting Nicole and the whole 9 yards. All right, and y'all remember that. And then, it was a little, thing, where like Nicole, she was messy. Nicole had this little thing which she shouldn't have involved Boss Lady New Jersey, where she felt like, because VS is a real friend. When she say loyal, VS is loyal to her people. She is. And she will fight for her people. Especially if they're fighting for her. All right. So Nicole had told VS something about Boss Lady should have did this and should have did that. Nicole shouldn't have did that because that wasn't nothing to do with VS. That wasn't nothing to do with VS or whatever. And really, I didn't never understand that Boss Lady and that Nicole thing. Anyways, it was childish. That on Nicole part, it was childish. Okay, then the Olivia Oracle thing. I didn't know nothing about Olivia Oracle and Nicole's past. I really don't think that VS knew too much about it. But anyways, the call, and they ended up getting into it. And then Nicole felt like she just automatically ran over there and got in her feelings when nobody really knew what was going, really like the gist of what was really going on. Nobody knew. Nobody knew about, like, we really didn't know about Nicole and Olivia's history or whatever. But Nicole automatically ran over there into the Vince mode, and now, she mad at VS. And VS liked Nicole because she likes that kind of personality. She liked that go-getter. She liked that creative. She liked that kind of personality. So she liked and looked up to and admired Nicole. So when Nicole did that, that was another hurt. That was another letdown. Shelly, I actually, let me tell you something. I actually loved when Shelly and VS were working together. Because there used to be a lot, me and VS used to talk about a lot of things. We used to talk about a lot of building and stuff. And whenever I used to tell her, it was like, nah, I don't want to do that. Nah, because of this, because of that. And I just like being this and that. Then when Shelly came along, Shelly told her the same thing, and VS went with it. And I was like, yay. So that's when, like we got to start building or whatever. Like we really started building and we really started getting ready to go to the next level. Because that was the plan. That was the goal, to go to the next level. The website, the whole 9 yards. We was like, no more drama. We getting ready to, we were doing women empowerment. We were helping other, people that needed help. And we were trying to cover different various topics in terms of content. We were trying to get away from the drama. And then VS even went to the Martha Stewart, where she just, like come online dealing with the plants, talking here or there, not dealing with the drama. But people couldn't leave it alone. They couldn't let her be. They couldn't let her be. She was trying to be at peace. She was trying to change. She was trying to get away from it. She was tired of it. I was too. I've been wanting this stuff to end for VS. So the thing that happened with Shelly and VS really was, okay, when they went to the T.S. Madison thing, VS never wanted to like bash or downgrade or try to bring T.S. Madison down. VS liked T.S. Madison, and that's why she wanted to go to the show. And imagine if this is your first time going to a T.S. Madison show, and T.S. Madison show, your expectations and you're built up about it. You're excited about it. Now, it wasn't actually, and then she didn't know that it wasn't actually a T.S. Madison show, that it was like T.S. Madison, was a guest performer. So when she got there and, things were not like what she's seen on TV or whatever, it was like a little bit of a letdown. And VS was outside of her element, outside of her environment, because she don't go out to clubs. She don't drink or anything like that. So, you know, it was a big step for her to do that. A big step for her to, you know, get with some TSCC members and stuff and to actually go hang out. I was glad. Okay. So it was a little bit of a disappointment. So when VS came back, like VS always do, you know, VS wants to share everything because she sort of likes being transparent, you know? So she came back and she only wanted to tell bits and pieces of the story. And so it sort of got next to Shelly. So they talked it out and they were still cool. They still had a working a sort of working little thing going. It wasn't until it made it to Wiley's platform. And guess who called in and kicked it off? Nicole. And after then, it was all out war. They instigated it. Wiley was saying things, well, it's T.S. Madison's fault. T.S. Madison should get her money back. You know, da. When VS wasn't over here, like, really on that. She wasn't studying about getting no money back or nothing like that. She was just talking about her experience realistically. And she even said that it wasn't a T.S. Madison show and it wasn't a T.S. Madison. And that whole thing spiraled all the way out of control because it really wasn't just Shelly. It really wasn't just VS. It was the haters. Those were, Shelly, you supposed to be CEO. You supposed to be over here with T.S. Madison. And you letting VS talk about and going to T.S. Madison, carrying bones, and people over here report and instigating and adding and changing narratives. And so something so simple spent way way too far where Shelly and VS could have worked that out. Then you got to look at, you know, like, okay, I'm not gonna, but Bayless and Cynthia are. Now, we saw, you know, what happened. I know a little bit more than, I think I know a little, I understand a little bit more than even VS. But the whole thing of the matter is, these was her day ones. These were her closest people. And for, you know, like, and I understand, let me tell you what started that. For a long time, VS, like, okay, Wiley, you know, and VS, they, you know, started intermingling the car, the donation and everything, but, you know, it wasn't no everyday thing. It was like, okay, this, that, hit here and hit there. They weren't just like communicating like that. Then all of a sudden, Wiley came in and he started communicating with VS, you know, like he's got these issues. Okay. Now I know because like during, me and VS used to talk on the phone all day, like a lot. We talked on the phone all day. And then like when Wiley came into the mix, it's sort of like, you know, like he started taking up a lot of time and stuff. So I didn't get to talk to her as much. Okay. But neither here nor there because, you know, like they were doing business. But I also saw beforehand and afterhand some of the things that Wiley was doing. I saw how he was trying to set things up, and I saw how he was trying to take away he was taking away a lot of the TSCC attention, because a lot of the things that Wiley was getting, it's like people within TSCC, the day ones or the people who like were actually a part of the team, you know, really should have been getting, because Wiley wasn't TSCC. Wiley was outside of TSCC. Okay, and so Wiley sent the email to Beverly. That Miss Beverly thing happened where he called into Shelly's show, and then they wanted to call the police on him and all of that. All right, so Wiley, okay, so VS helped him out of, they called and everything to find out. She was helping him out through all of that process. And you know, I'm looking at it like it's a setup. I'm looking at it like it's, I'm not going to tell you why, because I don't want to get into details about that right now. But it's like I'm looking at, I'm seeing the setup. And then Wiley also triggered her because, like, y'all might think I got church background. You know, my family is primarily Baptist and Methodist. All right. But then I did have family member that were Church of God in Christ. And my grandmother worked on, you know, Sundays when I was a teenager or whatever. So a lot of times I had to go to church with my auntie And a lot of times it was to the Church of God in Christ. So I know about, the Church of God in Christ, and everything. And I know how they chastise people. And I know because it was just like, they brought me up there for prayer. And my cousin then was like, you better fall out or they're going to say you got demons. So I had to sit there and, they tell you, say Jesus, 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 and all that stuff. And, so I was like, oh, God, it ain't happening. Where it's going to come? Where this Holy Ghost going to come? I was panicking because I didn't want to get called no demon. So, like somebody pushed me and I fell on out. And they covered me up with the little white sheet or whatever. And I was so happy because it was like, I thought I was panicking, thinking I was going to get a call to the devil, a demon. And then I've seen where, like girls and stuff get pregnant at young ages and they don't go after the boy. They don't go after the grown man that then impregnated this little girl. They go after the lady, the little girl. They just like the Clark sisters and stuff. That stuff that was going on over there with them. Same thing. We've seen it over and over again. So you know what I'm saying is the truth. So I know how Pentecostal and Church of God in Christ people, they chastise. They chastise. And Wiley said it himself because this was the same time with the Phi Babe situation when Wiley took it up on himself to put Phi Babe's picture on his website. Now I reached out to Wiley and I told, I was like, that is against the law. You're not supposed to put, have her picture up there because you're making money without permission of her image. It doesn't matter if she put it anywhere. It doesn't give you a right to take that image and make money off of it. And because of the type of image it was, it could have been considered revenge porn. So I tried to tell him, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. I'm like, yes, it is. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you stay out of trouble. No, it ain't. And then so when Phi Babe went to his church, then everybody taking Wiley's side. When you forget Phi Babe gave him 48, I give you 24 or 48 hours to take the picture down. So if Wiley didn't want Phi Babe to go to the church, all he had to do was take the picture down. All he had to do, and y'all up there crying, oh, she went to his church. From what I know, churches are come as you are, and it's an open door, and you can go to anybody's church. They accept everybody. So it wasn't nothing wrong with Phi Babe going to that church or QB going to that church. But everybody, instead of looking at Wiley's wrong, y'all was over here blaming Phi Babe when Phi Babe gave him a warning. And she really didn't do anything when she got there. And all he had to do was take the picture down. Okay, so beforehand, how Wiley triggered VS, he had her call the auntie and before his uncle. And before then, he had said, Phi Babe could go to that church if she want to. My uncle, now they don't believe in women doing certain things. So, I heard him. And then he going to give VS. So, like when VS initially told me about it, I'm like, oh, he knew that was going to happen. She was like, no, he didn't. I said, yes, he did. Yes, he did. He triggered her. And you see that he knew he was triggering her afterwards because he came out his own mouth and said it. So I'm not lying. I wasn't lying then. I was right there because I noticed it. That was a trigger. And also, okay, VS wasn't really on monetizing. Like VS wasn't monetized for a long time. I think Shelly had something to do with VS getting monetized, monetized or whatever. So, so she wasn't on no clicks and views or nothing like that. So, Wiley saw us over here. We building, we doing good and everything. So Wiley decides he want to get in this pot. So, Wiley eased on in and, started getting close to VS. And then he's telling her clicks and views. And don't you trust them people. So once again, you can't do that to a person who has trust issues. Because now they're like, especially after they done been through all this. So now they're going to start, so VS done started looking at a team. Like, I can't trust them. I've been through this before. He's right. And I saw it. And so then Wiley goes behind it because Wiley is always doing things behind the scene. And now y'all know accurately. Y'all seen it. But he sent an email to Miss Beverly. He made up an email from Vonnie Vaughn and sent the email to Miss Beverly. And so everybody was attacking Miss Vonnie Vaughn, acting as though she was attacking Beverly. And it wasn't that was Wiley who had did that. And how I know, because when it happened, I told VS, I was like, VS, I think you need, because I heard the video and I was like, VS, I think you need to reach out to Miss Vonnie. And she said, you do it. I said, okay. So I reached out to Miss Vonnie and I was like, Miss Vonnie, I said, don't worry about it. I said, the IPS address is not going to come back to you or anything because you didn't do it. Don't worry about it. We didn't know, me and Miss Vonnie, we didn't know who did it. Okay. Then it wasn't until this was the same first time outing or whatever. The first time that, like VS aired me out, as she called it. And I didn't have a clue what was happening. In fact, while we were live, VS had me on hold. Miss Vonnie called me. She said, is this because of me? And I was like, I don't know. I didn't know what it was about. Because, she was bringing up so many things. I didn't know. Because one thing VS doesn't do is she keeps things in certain pockets. Because just like I wasn't privy, I was TSCC, but not TSCC. I was really VS. Okay. And like when it came down to TSCC, only certain people who were privy to certain things. She keep everything separate. She wasn't talking to me about everything. And I sort of was glad about it, because we had a whole different thing going on. Okay. But because I knew, because of that little situation right there with Miss Vonnie, and Wiley saying, don't trust these people. They looking at me, and she's loyal. She was loyal to Wiley. So she did what she did to Miss Vonnie, really, to protect Wiley. And you see where these situations are now? All of that from Miss Vonnie came from this Wiley situation. It's been so many things when it came down to Wiley and him knowing what he was doing, because he wanted TSCC over there, and he was going to try to take TSCC for himself. But technically, and let me tell you, every time somebody they got into it or whatever, Miss Vonnie, I liked Miss Vonnie. I thought Miss Vonnie was cool. Like when that situation happened, me and VS, we talked about it. And, I didn't know everything. So, when VS would try to, say, what happened, it was parts that I didn't know. So I couldn't really, I tried to defend it to the best that I could. But then it was just at the same time, it's certain things that I don't know. So I can't just, say yay or nay. But at the same time, a lot of them TSCC members were going in on Miss Vonnie. I didn't. Because I didn't feel that way about Miss Vonnie. So in the chat, I didn't say anything about Miss Vonnie. When a lot of people got put out, like when Cynthia R. and even Bayless got put out, you didn't see me in the chat going in on Cynthia R. and Bayless. In fact, I was the one trying to bring the whole situation back together again. Because I already knew, and I tried to prep the whole team. Look, we getting ready to go to the next level. When we was coming back from DC, the goal was for us to go to the next level. The website, and we was getting ready to shoot on to the next level. We couldn't even make it back. And Cynthia R. really wasn't at fault. She got caught in the crossfire because somebody else was in her ear telling her lies. And this same somebody who was in her ear telling her lies was still over here talking to VS, telling her things. And then she was talking to me too. And I'm trying to straighten the whole thing out. And she presented a certain perspective to me. But Cynthia R. got caught into the middle because Cynthia R. had a good time. She made it home. We all got along. It was beautiful. And really, it wasn't Wiley's fault. It was this other person's fault. Other person's fault. It was the other person's fault. I ain't going to go into that part, that other little part. The other little part, because it's some things that Cynthia R. didn't understand or whatever. And some of that, somewhat came from, some of the dealings with Wiley or whatever, but it was some things. But anyways, it caused friction and things. So what I'm trying to say is, if you have had people on your team, y'all cool, you're close, and then here, one by one, everybody, all of this stuff. one by one, everybody telling, everybody, falling out, and then they ain't falling out and trying to make amends. They falling out and they automatically going into like, we ain't gonna talk about it. We about to battle. So they falling out and trying to battle. Now it's one component. Just like VS wasn't over there doxing while we were over there doing women empowerment and stuff like that. VS didn't start doxing it. Even Chopper admitted it until Chopper came back. And see, Chopper over there, y'all know he negative. So, because like I said, I didn't have a clue what happened with us. All I know is that night she said, I'm going to talk to somebody else. And it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So Chopper, California, it was Chopper. So, I noticed it was different for a little while, but, I wasn't really tripping. I was just giving, it that time. Then all of a sudden, next thing you know, like we boom. And then it's all of these issues and stuff like that. And it's like nothing that was true. Wasn't nothing true. Like I never I wanted to give to VS more than I wanted to receive. I wanted to give. Like I ain't never wanted to be no like major. Like I've been out here for a minute. I've been on big panels. Like I got a history before here. I was popular. Like I have a persona. Like people gravitate towards me because they like what I'm saying. But I've never just like really wanted to like really build my own platform. I like working like VS and like I did with another panel. I like that. I like that kind of, I like that kind of thing. Being, secondary and sorry about that. Secondary and not like and not the, main production. Being the support, taking weight off the next person instead of, being and that's what everything that I do. I always end up being the leader when I don't, really want all the responsibilities of being the leader. I end up being a leader because I'm good at it, but I don't want it. I don't, like it'd be other things I'd be trying to do. So pretty much I'm going to say I said all of that, and I didn't want to go into too many details. I just want to brush through things to show y'all like. And so people have been out here like, I'm going to pull up on you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And, people that took pictures of her kids. So, yes, you're going to become paranoid. People putting out her address. Would you not be paranoid? Would you not be paranoid? And this was before Chopper came back, and this is before the doxing. Because this was before Chopper came back, and this was before the doxing. So I saw, like I said, I saw the shift and the change into VS, and it's like she just surrendered. She said, all right, this is who y'all want me to be. This is who I'm going to be. And she turned that full force. Because I was saying to myself, dog, it's like she done given up. And I couldn't even get back in there because the people who wanted her to be this person blocked me out. They blocked me out for a reason. Because they knew that, like I was going to be the one that was going to encourage her not to do it. I was going to be the one to try to encourage her to go back. Let's go back positive. Let's go back the other way. And then they not only did that, but they also they kept doing it. Because it's people kept, I wasn't doing nothing, bringing them up. I'm over here minding my own business. And I hear derogatory stuff that has been said about me all the time. Then it was like the team, the people who I was working with. And I'm like, why? What happened? And that's why I was like, I'll never be TSCC again because I'm never going to be. I didn't like that. I don't like that. I was cool with all of them. I like being cool. I like getting along with people. I don't like having a battle. And then, and then when people don't know me and they're sitting up there telling lies or, exaggerating or saying a lot of negative things, that don't make you feel so good. And so, VS in a lot of ways didn't understand why I was over here on this side. But that's because, I wanted to be over there with her. But then over there, that's why all the negativity was coming. Over here, This is where all the support, the love, and then it was just easier to go in chats and stuff and not be attacked. So, like I went to this, I was visiting the safe places. And it's not that it's nothing like like I wasn't disabling our friendship. Like I said, I just was giving her time and I was hoping that she see where she was wrong. And the people over there that saw like how great of a friend that I was to her, and she was a great friend of mine, they should have told her she was wrong, and then they should have helped resolve the issue. And in a lot of ways, a lot of people, in a lot of situations, she get mad. Yeah, when you tell her that, she was wrong, or you tell her she shouldn't do something, she get mad. She might not talk to you for 3 days, but then when she realizes that she thinks about what you're saying, she'll come back and she'll see what you're saying and believe that you're right. You just have to give her some time. She's not going to just move off of you. She's going to make her own decision. And I knew that, and I was used to that. But these people was in her ear. These people was in her ear with negativity, causing her more and more distrust, causing her, because that's a lot of negativity. Now, y'all know Chopper's, negative. Y'all know he is woe is me. Y'all know he's a Debbie Downer. All right. Because a lot of times when she was saying Debbie Downer and stuff, that wasn't related to me. That was really related to Chopper. He's a Debbie Downer. And, a lot of the stuff she said to me related to Chopper, really. All right. So imagine you VS and you sitting up there and you got to hear all this crying. Half the people that VS went at a lot of times wasn't because she wanted to go at him after he came back. It was because he wanted her to go at them. Because he had a problem with them. And he wanted them to go at them. And she's so loyal and she's always trying to protect and nurture, that, she did it. When, really she shouldn't, and she really didn't have a problem, with these people. And you could even see on her face a lot of times she didn't want to go at these people, and she really didn't have a problem with these people. And Wiley sold her the system of clicks and views, just like, the same thing. Chopper was on that. They was on that, let's do anything for some clicks and views. She wasn't on there before because she wasn't even monetized. And a lot of things, she just wanted to keep it simple. So I say all this, and I presented that, I presented those details to let y'all know that in a lot of ways, everybody around, it's like people that are guiltier than VS, but VS is taking the blame for that. Irene JoJo over there doxing. They done almost admitted nobody, and y'all, they doxing over there now. Riri over there doxing. When they got on the phone blurting out all that negative stuff, didn't nobody stop and say they shouldn't do that? But yet, when VS got mad and clapped back, y'all like, VS. But y'all didn't stop them from getting on the phone saying all that negative stuff about VS. Y'all didn't think, y'all already talking about, she got childhood problems. She got childhood issues. We all do, first of all. But did y'all not think that what you were going to do, what you were doing, were triggering her childhood problems? Hey, I've been on here and I ain't got triggered. I just know how to cope with, and I know how to handle mine, and I know how to pull back. That's why I don't come on here every day. But this sector is a bit, and there's a lot of people out here getting triggered. Skillet. A lot of people out here getting triggered, and y'all are doing it. Everybody just, the subscribers a lot of times be more at fault than the content creators. That's for carrying bones. That's for getting in the ear with the negativity. That's from spreading it around, going from chat to chat to chat. Oh, hate VS. Oh, hate VS. Oh, now y'all hate Fababe. Hate Fababe. Y'all doing the same thing to VS that y'all did to Fababe. I mean, y'all doing the same thing to Fababe that y'all doing to VS. Fababe is number 2. Y'all saying it. Phi Babe first, VS next. When a lot of these people need to work out their issues. They either need to agree to disagree. They need to agree, I'm going to stay over here, you stay over here. Or they need to work it out and learn how to be cordial with each other and stop carrying this stuff on and on and on, because it's like months and months and months of the same thing. And who be supporting it? We do. You do. The negativity get more clicks and views than anything positive in this sector. The negativity, and that's why so many people, and that's why so many even newer content creators who really have a whole different agenda and a whole different purpose for their channel and mind come in feeling like, well, in order for me to do this, in order for me to do this real quick, I got to do the beefing. I got to, put this person's name in my title. And so some of these people ain't even going at people because they dislike them. Some of them are going at them because they know it's the popular thing to do. Clicks and views. So, like I said, VS does not need to go to jail. VS, yes, she needs to stop what she's doing. And I agree, like, a lot of people need to apologize. She needs to apologize too. And y'all need to figure out one of the three things. Either you stay over here, I stay over here. Let's agree to disagree. Or let's work this thing out. That's what grown people do. But VS does not need to go to jail, because what y'all are trying to do is you're damaging the Black community, because VS has two beautiful kids, and those kids love their mother, and those kids need their mother. They love their mother. I've been around them. They're intelligent. Them beautiful kids. They love their mother. Yeah, VS, yeah, she's a little controlling, but shoot, my grandmama is too. Like right now, shoot, yeah, like somebody was, oh, she abused her. Y'all need to worry about my grandma abusing me. Y'all need to worry about my grandmama abusing me for real. Because my grandma the same way. It's like I told VS, I said, you're so much like my grandmama. And I didn't even know what it was until now. And now I see. And that's another reason why I'm on women empowerment and healing hearts. Because a lot of stuff that women, mothers go through in childhood, when it's not resolved, it carries on and it provides generational curses. It's effective. That's why I speak up when I see women being mistreated, because it makes a difference. Because that same woman, that same little girl who was victimized as a little young girl has to grow up and be a mother. And if those issues are not resolved within her and stuff, and some stuff some of this abuse you can't get over. Some of this abuse affects you for the rest of your lifetime. Then a lot of this stuff carries on to your family, and then from your family to the next family, from that generation to the next generation, from that generation to the next generation. We are continually this generational dysfunction. We are, and we're not trying to stop it. And this sector is a perfect example, because we can't even stop these things, little things that have happened. We can't even stop. We can't even say, okay, I'm never going to like that person again, but I ain't got to deal with them. I ain't got to keep going after them. I can agree to stay away from them. Instead of forming hate trains and going around to everybody's platform and she bad. Just like y'all doing Phi Babe now. Ain't nobody perfect. We done all did things and we done all made mistakes. But I haven't seen not one person die. I haven't seen nothing. This is like one of the most detrimental situations that I've seen. And I cannot believe so many people are around here basking, jumping for joy, trying to destroy a woman that took her job. But that wasn't enough. Yeah, I know she done did it back. I know she done did it back, and I know she done did it. She just as wrong. But at some point, you got to stop, because it's going to carry on. Okay, after her, y'all talking about Phi Babe. After Phi Babe, it's going to be another person. After that, it's going to be another person. When is it going to stop? Because y'all are crossing the boundaries, and we are hurting our own selves, and we are hurting our own families. And just like when y'all can say, some of these black men don't need to go to jail. You don't need to put a black man in jail. You don't need to put a black mother in jail. Yes, she needs help, but she does not need to go to jail, because jail won't do what she needs done for herself. But getting some help will. And I ain't never heard nobody say, okay, besides, well, I know I have, but I've never heard none of y'all say she needs to get some help or try to tell her to get some help in a calm and a non-defensive manner. I've heard y'all say what issue she got. I've heard y'all say just like even the same thing she's doing to Fi Babe, even because I don't agree that she docs Tracy D. I don't agree that like she's going in on Fi Babe now. I don't agree with that. I don't like it. And yes, I want her to stop. But there's a better way to make her stop than to keep the stuff continuing. But it's like it's so gang out here. We done turn this section into gang, shoot them up. And all I see is women fighting women. See, when these men get into it, yeah, they'll bristle with each other a little bit, but then they'll go on and they'll learn how to be casual with each other. But when these women get into it, a lot of times it be over a man, or something else, and it's just carried on. Everybody want to talk about it. Everybody want to keep it going. So all you got in this sector full of women is women not supporting women, women going after women, and that is a darn shame when our women rights right now are about to be taken. They trying to take away our voting rights, and then they trying to put us back in slavery. Trump refused to sign the act that protects women and children. So we got a lot of going on, and we got a lot of reasons why we need to be unified and why we need to be on here talking about issues that matter, issues that depend on our survival. And putting the next black woman in jail for something so minute that's a mother is not going to work. Yes, she needs some help, but she does not need to go to jail. Now, some of y'all just want to hate. Some of y'all miserable, and y'all just want to keep stuff going. But I don't, I don't care. I'm here to tell the truth. Just same thing with Seven. Seven did me wrong. And when I looked at Seven's family situation, I had compassion for her. I understand why she does some of the things she does. With VS, I understand. And it's a way to deal with that, but it's not dealing with it in the same way that she is not doing tit for tat. Two wrongs don't make a right. We got to heal each other. We got to start looking and seeing what people have gone through and understand what is making them be the way that they are, and trying to help them, give them guidance. Because y'all go to church, a lot of y'all talking about y'all believe in God. That's what we're supposed to do as godly people. We're supposed to help each other. When you learn something, you're supposed to help the next person along the way. Each one teach one. We're not supposed to be sitting here judging like we are in this sector. We're not supposed to be sitting here bashing and abusing each other. Roasting gag. Ain't no roasting gag. We ain't never been able to handle the roasting gag. Some kind of way they always cross the line. Because somebody's feelings gonna get hurt. And that's everywhere. Even in school when I saw it. It all roasting gag ends in a fight. And so if we as grown people, are not around here handling things, what are we telling our children? Are we telling our children, fight, go after them? Oh, that's why Chicago, I shout out to the mayor of Chicago because she's brought down the crime rate. But it was one time, and Chicago's not the only place, y'all. And it's not everywhere in Chicago either. But I studied Chicago for a long time, and they had shut down some of them projects, and a lot of those people mixed in with each other, and it was just like one block might be this, one block might be that, and it turned chaotic. And so, like, that's somewhat of the same thing we got going on here. And not just, I'm gonna tell you, now this sector is the worst that I've seen. But they do have the same thing going on in the Black conscious community. It's like religions. It's like you got Hebrew, you got the Moors, and everybody talking about their way is the right way. Instead of meeting down the common line and saying, okay, let's just take away what is not working for us. You can keep your religion, but how about we learn how to not force the next person to respect the fact that the next person has the right to believe what they want to believe. And when it comes down to making governmental or group decisions, we need to learn how to leave those things out of the conversation, because some of those things are a hindrance to others. I mean, if you want to do that in your family household, that's fine. But you can't force everybody else to see things from that position, because not everybody else wants to believe it that way. And a lot of those things are not working for us. That's why we can't find unity. We got so many. I'm this, I'm that, you that, you light skin, you dark skin, you I'm Chicago, I'm this, I'm East Side, you West Side. We got all of these different little made up divisions. I'm Hebrew, you Moor. I'm Moor, you Nation of Islam. I'm an Orthodox Muslim. We got all of these different divisions, and that's not why we're not like we were during the civil rights. That's why we can't get back there and fight for nothing for our life, because everybody want to think that their way is the right way, instead of keeping an open mind and realize that maybe ain't none of it right. Maybe there's a bigger truth. And you won't get to the bigger truth unless you open up your mind. And that's what I try to do on my channel. I try to open up people's minds and present the things that I've found. Tell you about the things that I've experienced. Just like now, I can't go against my own self. I have integrity. And my part of my working in mental health, I see all this kind of stuff happen a lot of times. And I understand certain things from a mental health perspective, and I see where these things are hurting the situation, where these things are a trigger, where these things are making everything worse. And sometimes I can't, and that was even like when I was over there with TSCC and VS, especially with the 7 situation. I had compassion, because I can only imagine not having no family. Then when you do like see some family or whatever, they not on your team. So you out here like you have nobody. So in that situation, it's like a person like that, yes, they looking for love. Yes, they looking for validation. But who's going to sit there and tell her, look, you're beautiful. You don't have to do this. If you just sit and you wait and you respect yourself, you're going to find the right man. You don't have to, like just leave that one alone and just wait, or, like really before we can look at having a successful relationship with the next person, we got to first start having a successful relationship with ourselves. You have to first love yourself before you can love anybody else. And that is what a lot of Black people are missing in one way or one form or something another. We're missing self-love. But before you can love anybody else, you got to first love yourself. But y'all need to reconsider, like sending, because like it's gonna be the next person, and the next person, it could be you next time in VS situation. Because I ain't gonna tell no story. I come on here and people just be attacking, oh, period panties, oh, this, oh, that. And like, sometimes I don't even be in the mood. That's why sometimes I don't come. Hearing all that negativity, and then you go in the chat, you just want to chill. You just want to go in the chat. You just want to, You just want to enter, you just want to communicate, you just want to mingle like everybody else, and then boom, somebody taking change one little simple thing and making it to something big, change the narrative. Or you got people working behind the scene trying to paint you out to be this person or that person when you're not that person. Then you got to come out here, I'm not that person. I mean, let me tell you, I know where Jay Wilson comes from, but you know what I like about Jay Wilson? I could communicate with him, but our ideologies, like they're similar, but they're different. But like sometimes, and I like the fact that we can sometimes do this. Now, sometimes he'll get in this where we'll go doom, but whatever. I like, like I understand, and I don't expect, like I know where he came from, what school of thought he comes from, what ideology he has. So it's some things I expect or know that he's going to be about. And that's how we got to sort of start looking at everybody else. Everybody comes from a different walk of life. Everybody comes from a different ideology. And some things, it's like some people are going to be prone to do it. And you can correct them. You can have a conversation with them or whatever. But it don't mean just because you don't agree with these certain things that you have to fall out and you can't get along. So, y'all really need to consider like what y'all doing. Yeah, now y'all trying to destroy not only a black mother, not only two black mothers, but you're about to destroy three children that don't deserve it. Because every child needs their mother. Every child needs their mother. And y'all need to think about that. So how about asking VS to stop, get some help? Like, okay, how about instead of trying to go and make sure that it's maximum punishment and Colin trying to make sure that, she goes under and trying to make sure this or that, how about we just try to, make sure that she gets some help? How about we just make sure she just stops? And just like, to be fair, how about we make sure VS stops, but we also make sure Onside April stops. We also make sure JoJo Irene stops. We also make sure the Chopper stops. We also make sure the Riri stops. We also make sure the Tracy stops. I don't like Tracy. She's funny, but we know she goes out the way sometimes. But I don't hate her or dislike her, and yes, she gets angry too. And she goes way across borderlines too. We know she needs some help too. How about we make sure Tracy gets some help so she won't continue to be this person? That's what we need to be using YouTube for, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. Y'all believe in God? That's what God wants you to do. So you're not walking by God. And that's, and I'm out, family. That's all I had. All I really want to come on here and say. I just want to let it loose because it's like, it's so sickening in this sector. Coming on here is negative. It's down. You go over here, you got to hear all this. You go over there, you got to hear this sector sucks. It used to like, I used to come on YouTube and be able to enjoy myself now. And then it got to the point where now we are destroying people's lives. And yeah, I said we. So peace, love, and happiness. And y'all need to think about that. And I'm on end now. I just want to come on here and I want to give my perspective and my piece. Both Phi Babe don't deserve it, nor VS deserves it. Y'all, like, they're both talented. And like, let me tell y'all this too. There is no need to compete. What is for you is for you. There's enough people in this sector where if everybody supported everybody would be getting nice clicks and views. Everybody. It would just depend. If two people go live, it just depends on what whoever want to hear. But it would be divided out evenly. That's how it is in the conscious community. Nobody They don't ride with teams in the country community. Normally people go to whomever page they want to go to, whether they agree with them or not. A lot of times in the country community, people like to go to the pages they don't agree with because they like to debate. But this sector is not the only sector. Really, what you're doing is killing this sector and you're stopping the growth of this sector, because some of these new people don't really, unless they're already on this messy tip, unless they're already miserable, unless they already want to spread hatred, they don't want to come up. They look at this stuff like Geisha 305 or whatever. She's like, They don't want it. So this sector ain't gonna grow. And then half the accounts are troll pages. Just about everybody got them a couple of troll pages. So the number account, this sector is small. The number account for this sector ain't big at all. So it really ain't no growth in this sector. In order to grow, you gotta be cross-sectored, like Tasha K, like Armand Wiggins, like Lovely T.I. And then there's people even bigger than them. Millions of views per video, millions of subscribers. It's growth. And you can take, everybody got the, whatever you came on here to do, whatever, when you said you want to be a content creator, you go in that direction. You figure out what you want to do with your channel, you go in that direction. Because, just because you came into this sector don't mean you're going to end up in the same sector. Don't mean you're going to end up, y'all not going to even end up being competitive, like in a competitive position. Because Fabe might end up being over here, like with celebrity gossip, and VS could end up being over, like here, with something like a lot more spiritual or, something like that. But we have to let people grow. And larger content creators too. Stop trying to control smaller content creators. Let these people get on here and let them grow. And you smaller content creators, stop thinking that just because everybody else is beefing out here, just because they hurry up. Because what you want to look at is longevity. This beefing stuff ain't really longevity. People pages get shut down. YouTube might shut them down. It ain't longevity. Longevity comes in deciding what you want to do and working towards that. What's the purpose of your channel and working towards that. And then you can get in the sector and you could be out here forever. But I ain't about to read the chat because I already know. Like some of y'all, like it's just like I'm speaking to some dead horses out here. What's they saying? Stop, you can't keep kicking a dead horse or something. Some of y'all just want to be miserable. Some of y'all just want to be angry. Some of y'all, because the rest of your life is like that. So you don't want to see change. You don't want to do better because you don't have faith, confidence in yourself. And then you've lost faith, like you got to love yourself first. And if you don't have faith and confidence in yourself, I know you don't have faith and confidence as us as a people, but I do. I do. And I'm working forward. I want to see us better. I want to see us build, and I want to see like us change. I don't want to always see us at the bottom or oppressed or this kind of stuff. And it takes not all, but it takes a good number of us. Just like in this sector, more than one person got to be willing to change. More than one person got to be willing to stop. More than one person. And a lot of y'all subscribers too. Even if you ain't a content creator, you got to look at what part you play into stuff. And for the most part, we're going to need each other this year coming up, women. That's why I'm pushing it. We're going to need each other. We can't wait until it's too late. We cannot wait until it's too late to start getting along, to start learning how to communicate with each other, to start working out each other's difference, because we got bigger things on the frying pan. We got bigger things on the board that we got to do together as women and women only. Abortion. They're around here trying to dictate what women do with their lives. Now, do I agree that anybody should just go up and, not if you have sex, you should, and you get pregnant, then that's your fault. I mean, you either chose to do it, or that's you that did that. Like, so no, I don't agree that like about abortion, but it's like this: in certain circumstances, it's necessary. And at the end of the day, no man or no men should be making a decision on women's bodies and what women can do with their bodies. We need better health care. They cut women's health care funding, and women need so much better health care. A lot of the chemicals and stuff that they're putting in the food is causing us thyroid, fibroids, ovarian cancer, breast cancer. And we sitting around here want to argue with one another and want to hurt the next woman or want to hurt the next black person. We got to do better. We got to do better. And like I said, I just came on here for that because y'all know she don't deserve to go to jail. Yes, we all just want her to stop. Stop. But if other people stop, she'll stop. She tried to stop before. If other people stop, she'll stop. And then if she go get some help. But she do not, a mother, she don't deserve to be going to jail. Because y'all know, like, shoot, if somebody kept trying to take away your job, kept calling CPS on you, kept doing all of these things to you, you would be just like her, if not worse. So keep it real. Keep it real. If somebody keep harassing you, you're gonna get to a breaking point. You're gonna get to a point. You're gonna be just the same way. And really, we all making each other like that. Anyways, I come on here and it's like, God, damn. I'm like, whoop, I have to turn it off. Let me go do something else. Let me go watch a movie. Let me go over here and start working on something. Because this is not healthy. Attack. A lot of people don't even know me, but saying all kinds of stuff about me. I'm like, you don't even know me. Just repeating what the next person said. And then y'all downing people for stuff they can't help. Just like some of these people, like a lot of people have disabilities. Y'all so analytical and so picky. And so this, like, you got women coming on. Let me make sure my wig's straight. Let me make sure this. That's like nobody's perfect. Who wants to have to, that's just like y'all around here acting like ain't nobody perfect. Not even the people who be finding imperfections in people are not perfect. Stop judging. That's against the Bible. But I'm out for real this time. But y'all need to consider that I just had to go off for a minute. I had to tell the truth. I had to say how I feel and the true perspective and how I look at things. I'm not out here like, yes, a lot of people have done things to me or whatever, but I see where that person has been through and I see where it come from. And instead of me like being like instead of me looking at that's just like a child. If a child comes to you and they're like, you ugly, you da da da. A little bitty child come and say little stuff to you or whatever because they done heard somebody say it. What you gonna do? Beat the child up? If a child comes up to you and hits you, what you gonna do? Beat the child up? Or are you gonna try to get with the child's parent? Are you gonna try to talk to the child? To show them where they're right or wrong? What are you gonna do? And some people, in some situations, it's like it's childhood stuff that people hadn't gotten over. So it's the same thing. And if I don't care, like, because it's y'all the one that, if you ain't gathered some of what I'm saying, if you ain't realized some of what I'm saying, if you ain't like really, because you don't want to, and you're the problem. No, people are not everybody's not a child, but some people, some things they can't. I have post-traumatic stress. When I told Wally that, I meant that. Because, you know, like between, if I had got triggered, you better hope between here and there that I came to my senses, because I wasn't going to be able to help myself. It is, people have things that go on where, you know, like they're not always in control of certain things. And it's a part of an illness, a part of a condition, a part of a personality disorder, a part of, you know, something. Now, to be honest with you, either way it goes, she ain't going to jail. I know for a fact she ain't going to jail. I mean, you know, she might have to, you know, like just meet with them or something, but she's not going to jail and she won't be found guilty. I know for a fact because I know things and I don't wish to tell y'all. I don't wish to tell y'all because some of y'all evil. Y'all demonic. And instead of wishing somebody to get some help, y'all want to destroy them. Y'all want to see them hurt because you're hurt. And hurt people hurt people. So I hope y'all find some peace in y'all life, and I'm out.